Ladies and gentlemen, I thought to myself, let's play a bit of Mortal Kombat 9. And this time we're going to be playing with the one and only Hanzo Ishashi, aka leader of the Shirai Ryu, Scorpion. So we're going to be playing with Scorpion today. And yeah, man, let's get into it. And what I actually did was I skipped the first match off. The reason why is because my HD PVR2 clip kept flickering. It wasn't because I lost. I won the first match, and so we're gonna be playing against Reptile in our first match. This is on expert mode, so it's not gonna be easy at all. Scorpion is one of my favorite players, and he's a very versatile character. Definitely one of the best players in the game by far. He's come over here. It's just an absolute legendary move by him, and then you get a hit a free combo on your opponent. Awesome character. So what I want to do as commentary behind the gameplay is go over some of the history behind Scorpion and Sub-Zero and how the rivalry actually started and everything like that. Well, actually, let's kickstart off with saying that they're both shinobis, they're both ninjas. However, they're ninjas of different clans. So, for example, Sub-Zero is a ninja from the Lin Kuei, a different type of. He's a different type of ninja. On the other hand, Hanzo Hishashi, who is Scorpion, his real name is Hanzo Hishashi. Sub-Zero's real name is Baihan. So Sub-Zero is from the Lin Kuei, whilst on the other hand, Scorpion is from the Shirai Ryu. And they're both leaders of their groups, and they're both very responsible shinobis. They're very responsible ninjas, and they're great. They're really great. They're both great at fighting. Sub-Zero's special move is that he can freeze you, and he's also very good at sliding as well. On the other hand, Scorpion, on the other hand, his favorite move is the kunai move, where he goes, "Come over here," and he just grabs you and stuff. And he's a great character to use. They're both great characters, and they're both Mortal Kombat favorites of many people. The rivalry from each clan started a long time before. I remember when Scorpion, watching some of the legacy, Scorpion was playing with Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero's father came over and said, "Do not play with Scorpion, he's from a different clan." And Scorpion looks to me like... well, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were both friends. However, when they grew up and stuff, Sub-Zero's little brother provoked Hanzo Ishashi, and actually Hanzo killed him. This never really got along well with the terms and everything like that, but Hanzo Hishashi explained to Sub-Zero that, look, it wasn't my fault. He threatened me, threatened my family, so I had to kill him, and he drew first blood, and I had to sort him out. And they actually were friends from then on. Sub-Zero, the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu became friends, and forgot all the senseless and pathetic battles that they were rivals, and the competition that they used to have and the hatred all ended. However, there was this guy called Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, who basically both are sorcerers, and both evil sorcerers, should I say, and they devised a plan to separate both great ninjas. And the way they did it was Quan Chi, dressed up as Sub-Zero, went and just absolutely destroyed and killed each and every person of the Shirai Ryu, and then made Scorpion a deal, like, if you fight for me in the Netherrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournament, I will help you kill Sub-Zero. I'll help you find him and avenge your brothers and your family. And Hanzo Hishashi is no longer Hanzo Hishashi. He becomes this revengeful person called Scorpion. And then from then on, Scorpion fights in the Mortal Kombat tournament and then kills Sub-Zero. He kills Sub-Zero. And however, it's sad because two of them were getting along very fine. They were getting along really nicely, and they became friends. It's really sad the way everything worked out in the end. In my eyes, it's quite painful actually. Just seeing them two shinobis who again, so basically started off with them two hating, the clans hated each other, then these two brothers came over and made peace and everything, and then Quan Chi and Shang Tsung had to intervene and just destroy everything. It's really a sad story is Mortal Kombat with these two characters, because I reckon if these two joined up together and made a grand alliance, there was nobody stopping Sub-Zero and Scorpion. No way. Just the power of water and fire, just absolutely immense powers, man. It's just such a shame really that they had to separate and go their own ways. Okay, I think that's enough on the Scorpion and Sub-Zero legacy. Okay, let's carry on with the gameplay really. So at this moment I am fighting Scorpion, and Scorpion is a very hard person to fight in this game, because obviously he can teleport, he can also do come over here, and he's got this sort of he can actually burn the ground as well. So and his X-ray is fantastic, and it's very hard to block because he flies across the screen to whack you one. So a very difficult player to fight, and he won the first round and I won the second. So let's see what happens in the third. This looks pretty dead on right now. It looks like it's a very close match, but I'm going to try my best to try to pull away and take the win. Come over here is definitely vintage Scorpion, and it's something I constantly use all the time. Come over here. It's kind of Scorpion's bread and butter really. Okay, after defeating Scorpion, it is time to fight Kano. Kano is a great character, seriously. I remember him. I remember facing him when I was a young kid, when I used to play Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 when I was a kid with my cousins, and I used to play a lot when I was a young kid. Finishing school, I'd be like, I want to play Mortal Kombat, and I just remember getting my ass beaten by Kano. Kano's got one of them awkward styles of fighting, really. He can roll into a ball and just come flying at you, and he's very fast, and he's really tricky and stuff. You know, you really have to get used to his moves when you're fighting him. And when you play on expert mode, and it just gets harder. It doesn't become easier, obviously. And his X-ray is really good as well in the game. His X-ray takes like 41% life damage. He shoves a knife in both your legs, and then he kicks you with his sort of steel toe cap shoes. I bet that hurts. Don't want to be kicked in the face by Kano, not at all. But if you watched Mortal Kombat the movie, Kano plays a really good. The character is really good who plays Kano, and Kano himself is an interesting, a very interesting character. He's got something for Sonya, and he keeps calling her baby and stuff. So a bit of banter there, really. So what it is Kano kills Sonya's friend, and Sonya obviously wants revenge. But obviously taking revenge against Kano isn't going to be easy, because he is a big, strong guy. I love X-rays in this game. They're fantastic. They really are fantastic. I love the way when someone does a fatality or anything in this game, the whole screen goes dark. And Mortal Kombat, it's such a good game. Like I always say, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are right there with the best of beat-em-ups games ever made. Killer Instinct, well, Killer Instinct's a title that disappeared for 17 years, really. They had the arcade version, and they had the arcade port, and that was a really good success. That was a great game. And what happened after that was They planned on getting the arcade port of Killer Instinct onto Ultra N64, but that never worked out. So what they did next was they made the game. They reduced the graphics and the music and everything like that. Made the characters a lot smaller and put the port onto the SNES, which is a 16-bit. It was really good on SNES, Killer Instinct. Whoever played that game, I couldn't remember meeting one person who said they didn't like Killer Instinct. And the reason why Killer Instinct was such a good game was because it was a very good blend of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat together. It had fatalities and stuff. It had humility. It had great things, man. Seriously, I mean, you could for humiliation, you could make your opponent dance, which is just brilliant, really. But anyway, I've sort of got the win there with Scorpion, and I'm fighting against Sub-Zero, my arch nemesis from the Lin Kuei. So in the beginning, I went over some of the stories behind and some of the history and the legacy behind these two characters, and it's very interesting to learn about these characters. And Mortal Kombat's got a very good background story, very filling, very intense, very interesting, and yeah, just brilliant, really. And that's why the movie is a lot better than the Street Fighter movie, because the Street Fighter movie, that just had some ridiculous cast, and it was nothing to do with the manga. Ryu and Ken are the main characters within Street Fighter. M. Bison, Guile does not take down M. Bison, not at all. He could never do that. He could never compare against Bison's psycho power. It should have been Ryu who defeated him in the end, but hey, it's a movie, and well, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, fighting Sub-Zero down here. So I won the first round, he won the second round. Let's see what happens again in the third round. And hopefully, I'm trying to clock this this arcade ladder on Mortal Kombat 9 with having less, trying to get as few losses and as possible, really. It's hard to, it's... What it is when you've played as much beat 'em up games as me, you sort of get confused sometimes with the character moves and stuff, and it's it's not nice. I've played so many beat 'em up games in my life. I started to play beat 'em up games when I was a little kid, probably about 3. That's when I started to play beat 'em up games, and I quickly realized I was a very good player. I have to admit, in the beginning I did used to button bash just between me and you guys, but then after that I sort of started to learn the moves and stuff. The reason why is because if you play computer games, right, and you press all the buttons, I swear you'll get blisters on your hand. You will get blisters on your hand, and that's not really something you want. Okay, after beating Sub-Zero, it is time to fight legendary fighter Johnny Cage. Now, I want to talk a bit about Johnny Cage. I want to say that apparently Mortal Kombat itself is built up upon a movie, and that movie is called Bloodsport. Now, Bloodsport was a movie starring Van Damme. Now, that was a very good movie. It launched Van Damme into the big Hollywood star, making him a big Hollywood star and stuff. And apparently Mortal Kombat is a depiction or a copy or based on Bloodsport the movie. Now Bloodsport the movie is very bloody, it's very, it's a tournament based, and exactly like Mortal Kombat is a tournament based game, and it's very bloody and dark. And there's an uncanny resemblance between Van Damme and Johnny Cage, so there's definitely resemblances here. I really like that movie, Bloodsport. That's one of my favorite movies, man. I really like Van Damme's acting in the movie. He makes some really real cool noises and stuff, man. Especially when he's into fun. He makes like loads of noises in the game, man. And you have to admit, this game is like, the characters in this game make funny noises like Alibaba Re, what the hell, bicycle kick by Liu Kang. So there's some funny noises within this game as well. I'm using the Blue Yeti to record this, to record my audio, and to record the footage. I use my HD PVR 2. And sometimes when I'm recording with my HD PVR 2, especially if I'm recording PlayStation 3 content, it wobbles a bit for some, like the screen shakes and it flickers a bit. I don't really know why. It is a good capture card, but I don't think it's better than the Elgato. Now the Elgato is definitely something I am thinking about buying. Definitely, I need to buy the Elgato because the Elgato is the ultimate sort of game capture card, really. Okay, after defeating a whole host of players right now, including Johnny Cage, it's now time to fight the sub bosses. The sub bosses are like Shang Tsung has to be there, Goro, Kintoro, and then finally we're gonna be fighting the boss, which is none other than Shao Kahn. So it's gonna get really tough right now, the game. You know, one of the best things about Shang Tsung has to be, his ability to take your soul, and he's able to morph into different characters. That puts him onto another platform when fighting him, because fighting so many different characters in one, it confuses the mind seriously, because you have to adjust to them fighters. Like he's just turned into Baihan, which is Sub-Zero, and you know, fighting Sub-Zero is a mission and a half because he chucks ice on you all over the show. Oh yeah, and another thing, when he takes your soul and he turns into you, literally that move has a lot of, it's got a lot of range, and on top of all of that, when he does that move to you, he gets a damage boost of 25% increase in damage. So he becomes a deadly character. But we've sorted him out. Okay, after beating him, it's now time to move up to, after defeating the sorcerer Shang Tsung, it is now time to fight basically Shao Kahn's right hand man, Goro, who bashes the floor, and he's really tricky to fight, seriously. And if he grabs hold of you, you're in some serious trouble. Mortal Kombat has always had a long list of great sub-bosses. If you remember Matoro, Goro, Kintoro, all of these are very good characters. Seriously, they're a lot harder than the characters you might fight in Street Fighter, which is the reason actually why I play Street Fighter, because Street Fighter is a lot easier than Mortal Kombat. I mean, I've clocked Street Fighter so many times, it's unbelievable. On the hardest difficulty, but it's very unlikely I clock this game on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, so for example, Bison isn't really as strong as Shao Kahn. Of course, he's got the psycho power, and he's a great character, absolutely. But Shao Kahn has just got this hammer, and he just flogs it all over. He's got spears and all kinds of things in his arsenal, and he's just immensely, really, really powerful. On top of that, I can't really compare the rival bosses within Street Fighter compared to this game. I mean, even if you're fighting, the strongest rival in the game has to be somebody like Akuma or Ryu. And, you know, I don't know if they're as hard as these guys, man, because these guys are so OP, it's unbelievable. One of their x-rays, 53% life gone. So you got to be very careful when fighting Goro or Kintoro, or even Matoro. I mean, the only way of defeating Matoro is like jumping on his head. You can land combos on him, but they don't land clean. But anyway, we're doing a good job against these guys. And sooner or later, it will be time to fight the one and only Shao Kahn, so stick around. So finally, after such a long time, after 19 minutes and 25 seconds of your precious time, it is now time to fight Shao Kahn. So my plan is simple. Block his moves, and keep the hell away out of it. When he uses his green kind of arrow kind of thing, or he uses his hammer, I'm definitely just gonna teleport or get the hell out of the way. That is the game plan at the moment. Ooh, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Oh no, don't want to lose, don't want to lose. Okay, after the first round, we have beaten him in the first round. Now let's see how we get along in the second round. I hope we can do it again. Definitely achievement clocking this. Okay, a very good start to the second round. Best keep away from them punches, man. One of them. Okay, I'm doing a very, very good job against Shao Kahn here. So it looks like we are gonna win. Oh, watch out, watch out. Man, I gotta keep away from them big hammers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and listen, man, after all this time, we have finally beaten Shao Kahn on expert mode. This is fantastic. This is definitely an achievement. This is why I'm posting it to YouTube. I like posting some of my great achievements onto YouTube. I'm beating Mortal Kombat 9 on expert mode with Scorpion is definitely an achievement on my behalf. So thank you very much for watching.
Standing amid the rubble in solemn contemplation, Scorpion was visited by apparitions of his fallen comrades, who revealed the true mastermind behind their brutal deaths. Enraged, he returned to the Netherrealm. As the spirits of his kin immobilized Quan Chi, Scorpion slew him, finally avenging their death.